Where is Sasuke? Alright guys, Sasuke's whereabouts is pretty much unknown at this point. The manga loves to do this where they leave out a lot of stuff, and that's mainly because the manga wants to start speeding up. The anime is going to fill in a lot of stuff that the manga left out, but a casualty of that is the whereabouts of Sasuke. Now I spoke about this in my review, and I did kind of think about it. I was mulling over, and of course I read some of you guys' comments, and some of you guys' comments did actually make a lot of sense. One of the comments that I did read was the fact that Jigen probably wouldn't necessarily try to go after Sasuke, and this is because Jigen just wants his vessels. Jigen pretty much just wants to finish the mission that he's on, and as you guys see, when he first entered Naruto's living room, he was very nice, he was very polite, he didn't necessarily want to fight Naruto, even though he's not very fond of Naruto, and we figured that out when Jigen was basically bad-mouthing Naruto, saying that he was just obsessed with peace. Jigen doesn't necessarily want to start problems, so because of that, he probably didn't necessarily fight Sasuke. But here's the thing that I do have to tell you guys, it's a very good possibility that Jigen felt some sort of way that Sasuke was pretty much intruding in his own dimension. That specific dimension holds the 10 tails. Jigen put the 10 tails in that specific dimension for a reason. He probably thought he'd get a lot of privacy, and because Sasuke was there, he probably wouldn't take so kindly to Sasuke being there. When he showed up in Naruto's house, he was apologetic. He was saying, "I'm sorry I didn't take off my shoes," mainly because he was entering Naruto's place of home. But of course, he probably wouldn't be so kind to an intruder being Sasuke. And one thing that really gets me scared about Sasuke's return is the fact that in the last chapter, there was a lot of talk about Sasuke finally coming home. Not only was Sakura saying it, but also everybody else around them was actually saying it. Sada was hyped up, everybody was really hyped up, and they spent a lot of time covering Sasuke coming home. Now, as I said earlier, the manga is pretty much speeding up. They don't necessarily have a lot of time to talk about semantics like Sasuke coming home. So this could possibly be a sign that he's probably not gonna come home. And not only that, I mean, if you guys think about it, Sasuke comes home like once a year. Sasuke really does the bare minimum in that relationship. City Boy's up by 100. I hope I'm just overreacting. I hope I'm reading too much into it, but just off of that perspective, it's not necessarily looking the best for Sasuke as of right now. But my dream scenario would have to be Sasuke actually fighting Jigen, but nothing actually happening. Everything is kosher. I would be okay with Sasuke probably getting injured or something like that. That to me would definitely be a very good idea, and of course it would be shown to us in the context of a flashback, but also it still have that luster and the same excitement that it would always have, because Sasuke and Jigen are basically going at it. Not only that, we haven't really seen Jigen do anything in terms of fighting. Of course, we've seen one thing that he did when he was actually talking to Delta. He pretty much like recreated reality. Just off of that, a lot of people were really excited to see how Jigen would actually fight in terms of an actual fight versus an elite opponent. If he were to fight Sasuke, that's an elite opponent. We can actually see Jigen not necessarily go all out, but see some of the unique abilities that Jigen does actually have. And of course, that would definitely be a very, very good sight. Now, of course, the outcome of that battle could possibly be Sasuke being injured or Sasuke sneaking away midway. Judging by the way that Jigen looked and how he showed up, it didn't look like he was out of breath. He wasn't sweating. He didn't necessarily have a lot of scratches. So I'm guessing if Jigen were to actually fight Sasuke didn't necessarily do a lot of damage. So I'm guessing if Sasuke were to probably see that he was pretty much being overpowered by Jigen, he'd probably sneak away midway. And I say that Sasuke would probably lose that situation, one minimum, because Jigen is a very strong character. We could possibly estimate that Jigen is definitely stronger than Momoshiki, and not only that, Sasuke is in a weakened state. Because Sasuke only has one Rinnegan, and also because Sasuke is not of the actual pure Otsutsuki blood, he has difficult times using very complex jutsus that come from the Rinnegan, such as time space ninjutsu. Since Sasuke did actually use time space ninjutsu to get to that particular dimension, Sasuke is a little bit drained. So if they were to actually fight, Sasuke would not be 100%. Thus, I feel like Sasuke would definitely try to find a way to get out of that situation, much like how he did when he actually fought Kinshiki. Now, the time when he fought Kinshiki, it was very clear that Sasuke and Kinshiki, if not matched, Sasuke was definitely stronger. The reason why Sasuke left is because he understood that a fight with Kinshiki would probably draw out, and not only that, he understood that he already needed a base level chakra to get out of there, so he wouldn't be stuck in another dimension for a very long time. Now, I have been getting a lot of comments on my previous videos talking about how Sasuke can't necessarily die yet, and I completely agree with that. Sasuke is a character that we know is going to have a bigger impact on Boruto and the overall series of Boruto, and he can't necessarily do that if he dies. For example, one of the biggest things is that Sasuke is supposed to eventually train Boruto. Sasuke is supposed to take Boruto to somewhere, train also after the time skip, and of course Sasuke did not train Boruto yet, so I feel like that's a big strike against Sasuke possibly dying right now. And not only that, Sasuke dying in this fashion would definitely be a very, very bad sign. I spoke about this in my review, and I said that a character of Sasuke's ilk, you know, he's pretty much like one of the most beloved characters in all of the series. Him dying in a flashback in the fight probably wouldn't even be that crazy. It definitely would just look bad overall. So I feel like Sasuke dying in that fashion is definitely unlikely, but it is very possible that Sasuke can die. I mean, without the previous previous theories of Sasuke actually dying, I wouldn't necessarily think that Sasuke could possibly die right here, but because of the previous theories of Sasuke dying, I have to take that into account just to refresh some of you guys' memories, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys did forget. Way back in chapter 1 and even in episode 1 of the anime, we've seen Boruto and Kawaki fighting. Now, that's not the big thing. The big thing is Boruto is wearing a lot of Sasuke's gear. Boruto had Sasuke's headband, Boruto had Sasuke's cape, Boruto had Sasuke's sword. So a whole bunch of things that Sasuke had was on Boruto, and because of that, a lot of people think that Sasuke actually died. And because Sasuke died, Boruto took his clothes, Boruto took his cape, sword, and also headband. Obviously, we know that Boruto already has Sasuke's headband, but Boruto took his other stuff and pretty much wears it to pretty much pay respects to Sasuke. So because of that prerequisite information, there's already a belief that Sasuke's going to die in the series. So this death right here of Sasuke wouldn't necessarily be groundbreaking, but it would definitely be disappointing, and we do have to realize that as a real possibility. But here's the thing, and here's how I feel like Sasuke could possibly help Naruto if he is eventually alive. Now, of course, in my review I spoke about how Sasuke could possibly come back, take Naruto and Kawaki to a different dimension, also probably try to snag Boruto and wait for Jigen to also follow them, so they can pretty much gang up on Jigen right then and there, so they don't necessarily have to hold back, mainly because they'll be in another dimension. But what I'd really like to see Sasuke do is stop being an idiot. There's a whole bunch of things that Sasuke can do right now to pretty much instantaneously get better. One of the biggest things that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have been pretty pissed about in terms of Sasuke's character is the fact that he still only has one arm. Now, Sasuke supposedly said that he doesn't want to get a second arm to atone for his sins, but as of right now, you're pretty much sinning again. Like, we need your help. We need Sasuke to be in tip-top shape, and he needs two arms to pretty much do that. He needs two arms to weave hand signs and a whole bunch of other things that'll definitely be useful if Sasuke were to get another hand. Another thing that I think that Sasuke should definitely try to invest in is actually absorbing the 10-tail that's in the same dimension as him as we speak. If we're operating on the assumption that Jigen didn't necessarily fight Sasuke, that Sasuke pretty much snuck away, Sasuke just in another dimension with the 10-tails by himself. I think that's just a ball of energy and a ball of chakra that Sasuke could possibly absorb, and not only is the 10-tails just going to make Sasuke an overall better ninja, he can possibly get another Rinnegan if he does absorb a lot of chakra from the 10-tails. We could probably be going into the timescape with Sasuke having two arms and Sasuke having two Rinnegans. That would by far make him stronger than Naruto. I don't think it would be a discussion at that point, but also I think he'd definitely be a very good help to Boruto and overall the Hidden Leaf Village if he were to pretty much make himself that much overpowered. And again, these are not difficult things to do. He can definitely go to Katasuke and get fitted for a prosthetic arm. Not only are the prosthetic arms relatively easy to use, as we see Kawaki and Naruto adjust to them very quickly, but they also have hidden mechanisms, hidden abilities into the mechanical arms that can definitely help out Sasuke. I'm pretty sure you guys remember, or a lot of you guys probably don't remember because the manga wasn't necessarily that lit back then, but back in chapter 16 we see Naruto get fitted for a prosthetic arm that had the ability to absorb chakra. Now I'm pretty sure Naruto isn't necessarily wearing it right now, mainly because Naruto is pretty much chilling in his house before Jigen just popped up in his living room out of nowhere. But those type of abilities attached to the already overpowered characters of Naruto and Sasuke just makes them that much better. And of course, some of you guys are going to be like, oh, the Rinnegan gives Sasuke the ability to absorb chakra. Either way, it's not necessarily going to be a huge difference, but one, Sasuke's not necessarily perfecting and absorbing jutsu, as you guys seen by the time that Momoshiki threw a huge Biju bomb at him and he didn't necessarily absorb it, or he couldn't really absorb it. Not only that, there's a whole bunch of other things that he could possibly use out of that prosthetic arm. Wood style is one thing, extra chakra could be another thing, just a whole bunch of things that could possibly help out Sasuke and also make him a little bit more overpowered. I mean, god damn it, let's just be honest, even if he gets a regular arm, like just get a regular prosthetic arm, it'll make him so much better even without the scientific ninjutsu. But one thing that I really hope that is not going to happen is Sasuke just not be in the upcoming chapters and him actually being alive. Now of course I want Sasuke to be alive, that's not the main point of my last statement, but I just don't want Sasuke to be a lame duck, and the Boruto writers have pretty much been known for this in the manga. Before a couple of chapters ago, Sasuke was nowhere to be found. The last time we actually seen Sasuke in the manga before his recent appearance was in chapter 16, and it's not like Sasuke was doing anything too crazy. He wasn't necessarily on a mission, he was just nowhere to be seen while Naruto, Boruto, and Konohamaru were basically fighting for their lives. This is definitely a possibility, and I just hope the Boruto writers don't feel that lazy. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Do you guys actually think that Sasuke actually fought Jigen in the other dimension? Do you guys think we're probably going to get to see a flashback of that fight, or do you guys think that Sasuke was undetected? And of course there's that off chance that Jigen knew that Sasuke was there, but he didn't necessarily try to do anything to Sasuke, mainly because he was just so fixated on getting the vessel back. Let me know what you guys think about this in the the comment section below. It's me, your boy Baara B, and we out.
Check my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm at your sexual, no high cholesterol. Where's Jenny Craig? Bitch, just get sexual.